Iran has now done what many feared.
Iran's Operation True Promise 3 launched in response.
رژیم خبیث اشتباه کرد.
Iran promised to open the gates of hell, and overnight Israel felt that.
June 2025. The skies over the Middle East became the stage for a new era in warfare. A missile streaked across the horizon at speeds that left even the most advanced radar systems scrambling to track it. It wasn't American. It wasn't Russian. It wasn't Chinese. It was Iranian. The Fattah II, once a symbol of Tehran's technological ambition, had moved from exhibition halls into combat operations. Operation True Promise 3 had begun. Air defenses were reportedly bypassed, targets struck, and a new reality set in. Iran had not only built a hypersonic missile, but had successfully deployed it. The world could no longer treat Fattah II as a theoretical threat. The question was now, what does this mean for regional stability, global deterrence, and the future of hypersonic warfare? The battlefield debut. Operation True Promise 3 marked the first confirmed operational deployment of the Fattah II hypersonic missile. According to statements from the IRGC, the operation targeted select strategic military infrastructure in Israel in June 2025. Reports suggest that several missiles successfully bypassed multiple layers of Israeli air defenses. While independent verification is limited, the very announcement of this operation sent a shockwave across regional and global military circles. For Iran, this wasn't just a military action. It was a demonstration that the Fattah II program had matured from concept to combat-ready deployment. The operation was carefully planned, with multiple launch sites and staggered timings designed to maximize uncertainty for defense forces. Analysts noted that the targets were selected for operational significance rather than mass destruction, emphasizing Tehran's intent to combine precision and psychological impact. This deployment signaled a shift in how Iran intended to project power, not through conventional massed attacks, but through selective, high-speed strikes that disrupted strategic calculations. Speed and maneuverability confirmed. Iranian sources reported that the Fattah II missiles achieved speeds between Mach 13 and Mach 15, approximately 15,000 kilometers per hour. In addition, mid-flight maneuvering capabilities allowed the missiles to evade interceptors, demonstrating a new level of sophistication in Iran's missile technology. While independent verification of full hypersonic performance is limited, the operational use confirmed that the program had moved beyond testing and parades. For defense analysts, the key takeaway was that Iran had operationally deployed a missile system capable of combining speed with evasive trajectory control, a combination that can severely limit interception options. The operational deployment also provided Iran with real-world data on radar penetration, flight trajectory effectiveness, and terminal accuracy. These lessons are critical for iterating on the missile design, refining launch protocols, and improving guidance systems for future variants. Strategic context. Operation True Promise 3 was not an isolated demonstration of military capability. It was embedded within a broader Iranian doctrine emphasizing asymmetric warfare, technological leverage, and strategic deterrence. The IRGC framed the operation as a turning point in regional military balance, asserting that hypersonic capability created a new form of deterrence. By successfully deploying a hypersonic missile, Iran sent a clear message. It is capable of operationally integrating advanced technology into real-world combat scenarios. This doctrine emphasizes selective strikes against military infrastructure rather than civilian targets, aligning with Iran's broader strategic goals. The Fattah II is not only a weapon, but a tool of calculated signaling, projecting strength while minimizing escalation risk. Regional powers, including Israel and Gulf states, now face the reality of a missile system that compresses reaction times and challenges conventional air defense strategies. The strategic context of Operation True Promise 3 illustrates a deliberate approach to leveraging hypersonics as both deterrent and operational asset. Israel's response. Israeli defense forces faced a scenario they had not fully anticipated. While systems such as Arrow 3 and David's Sling are designed for advanced missile threats, the Fattah 2 introduced a combination of speed and maneuverability that challenged existing protocols. Though no critical damage was publicly reported, the psychological and operational impact was significant. Israeli planners began recalibrating response protocols, considering upgrades to early warning systems, accelerated research into anti-hypersonic countermeasures, and potential integration of directed energy weapons into their missile defense architecture. The operational use of Fattah 2 forced Israel to reconsider assumptions about the predictability of missile trajectories, the reliability of interception systems, and the strategic calculus of deterrence. Even if the missiles did not achieve perfect accuracy, the demonstration alone was enough to reshape threat perceptions. Lessons learned in the field. The first operational deployment provided Iran with invaluable data. Real-time observation of enemy radar responses, flight adjustments, and command network reactions allowed Iranian engineers to refine guidance systems and optimize missile trajectories for future engagements. Even if some missiles underperformed relative to Iranian claims, the operational lessons are far more important than perfection. Tehran now possesses practical knowledge of operational deployment, timing, and coordination under combat conditions. This iterative approach reflects a broader strategic philosophy: deploy, observe, refine, and redeploy. Each operational exercise enhances the credibility of the program, demonstrating that Iran is capable of integrating lessons learned into both tactical planning and technological development. Expanding range and capabilities. Following the successful deployment in Operation True Promise 3, Iran announced intentions to expand the Fattah 2 program. Future iterations aim to increase range, enhance maneuverability, and integrate the missile with advanced targeting networks. Potential upgrades include extended glide phase control for longer hypersonic flight, improved thermal shielding for sustained operation at extreme speeds, integration with electronic warfare systems for coordinated multi-platform attacks. These advancements suggest that Iran is moving toward a credible hypersonic arsenal capable of striking deeper strategic targets and reinforcing its role as a regional deterrent. Analysts predict that the next generation of Fattah 2 missiles could target locations beyond the immediate region, potentially reaching parts of southern Europe, key U.S. bases in the Gulf, and other strategic nodes critical to Western influence. Psychological deterrence realized. The operational deployment demonstrated more than technical capability. It confirmed the psychological dimension of hypersonic warfare. By showcasing operational use, Iran compelled regional and global powers to factor the Fattah 2 into their strategic planning. Deterrence now operates on the principle of perceived invincibility. The mere demonstration of hypersonic operational capability forces adversaries to reconsider response strategies, compress decision-making timelines, and allocate significant resources to countermeasures. The psychological leverage is a force multiplier. Even without full-scale combat deployment, the perception of an unstoppable weapon reshapes diplomatic calculations, military planning, and regional alliances. Global Watchers. The 2025 operational deployment drew immediate attention from global intelligence and defense communities. Analysts in Washington, Brussels, and Beijing began intensive monitoring of Iranian missile facilities, looking for signs of program expansion, mobility, and integration with other weapons systems. Open-source analysis and satellite monitoring suggested a focus on mobile launch platforms to enhance survivability, as well as the potential for coordinated multi-missile volleys that could overwhelm layered defenses. For global powers, Iran's operational deployment served as a case study in the evolution of hypersonic warfare, prompting investment in counter-hypersonic research, radar upgrades, and electronic warfare capabilities. Operational implications. Confirmed deployment proves that Iran can incorporate hypersonics into real conflict scenarios. Key implications include shortened decision windows for opposing forces, new emphasis on advanced missile defense systems, altered regional security calculations, increased urgency for counter-hypersonic technologies. Operational use demonstrates the strategic utility of hypersonics. A few precision missiles can create disproportionate effects, forcing opponents to adapt their doctrine and divert resources. For Iran, Fattah 2 serves as both a deterrent and a mechanism to influence regional calculations without resorting to full-scale war. Lessons for the future. The 2025 deployment provides insight into Iran's next steps. The program is expected to evolve in several directions. 1. Range extension, allowing strikes against deeper strategic targets. 2. Enhanced maneuverability, increasing the difficulty of interception. 3. Integration with intelligence networks, improving targeting and coordination. 4. Operational readiness, refining launch protocols and mobile deployment. These developments indicate that Iran intends to make hypersonic capability a permanent and integral part of its military doctrine, reinforcing both operational and strategic leverage. The hypersonic era in the Middle East. With Fattah 2 operationally deployed, the Middle East enters a new era of hypersonic warfare. Compressed reaction times, unpredictability, and strategic ambiguity now define the calculus of regional security. Neighboring states and global powers must consider rapid escalation scenarios, reduced warning times for strikes, the psychological effect of an adversary capable of penetrating defenses with unprecedented speed. Hypersonics are no longer theoretical. They are a present and growing challenge, reshaping military planning, alliances, and deterrence models. The road ahead. The future of Fattah 2 is both technological and strategic. Expected developments include longer ranges and extended flight envelopes, greater maneuverability to evade countermeasures, integration with command and control networks for coordinated multi-missile operations. Global powers are now watching each test, each deployment, and each innovation. The operational deployment in Operation True Promise 3 has confirmed Iran's capability to convert ambition into action, reshaping regional deterrence and redefining the rules of hypersonic engagement. Operation True Promise 3 confirmed a pivotal moment. Hypersonic warfare is no longer theoretical. Iran has demonstrated operational deployment, challenging conventional defenses and rewriting regional strategy. To stay informed about missile technology, strategic developments, and the evolving dynamics of hypersonic warfare, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. In a world where decisions are made at Mach 15, knowledge is the only true defense. Stay blessed and stay curious.